Imagine a rainforest, not in the wild, but inside a man-made space. This is urban wild habitat. Paludariums and vivariums are most often built inside glass tanks, a familiar method repeated time and again. But here, the path diverges. This project is something different. I call it urban wild habitat, where the cold rigidity of industrial design collides with the untamed pulse of a living ecosystem. I begin with the assembly of the steel framework, the backbone that will support the massive concrete. 8mm rods are cut, piece by piece, to precise lengths. Then, carefully, they are arranged and bound with wire. The woven pattern is chosen, not only to strengthen the structure from within, but to ensure the weight is carried evenly throughout. Once the steel framework is complete, the process moves to mixing cement and sand. The composition is simple: 1 part cement, 2 parts sand. This ratio has long been a standard in construction, creating a mixture that is dense and more resistant to cracking. To achieve a perfectly level surface, the casting is carried out indoors. The floor is first covered with plastic sheeting, so the cement won't stick, and can be released easily once it hardens. The concrete box is built in stages. Each section is cast separately, then assembled once it is hardened. The steel reinforcement is set at the core of the casting, strengthening the structure, so the concrete can bear the load and absorb vibration. As the mold, I use light steel profiles, 30mm thick. As the concrete begins to harden, the mold is removed. At each corner, nails are placed to lock the pieces together during the final assembly. The casting continues, piece by piece, until the required number is reached. In one of the molds, I insert a piece of styrofoam, creating space for the fan that will be installed later. On the third day, I begin assembling the concrete panels. Each piece is secured with wooden beams, ensuring precision and preventing any shift during construction. Along each edge, I carve small grooves, allowing the cement joints to bond more firmly. After that, the surface is cleared of cement residue with a wire brush. Next, the heavy concrete panels are lifted, moved with care to prevent any cracks. Once all the concrete panels are joined, each nail is tied with wire, reinforcing the joints at every corner. Before applying the cement, the concrete surface is first moistened. Then the joining begins, locking each panel in place, uniting them into a solid whole. On the 5th day, the concrete structure finally stands firm. Today, I move on to the next stage, creating the hardscape. Before that, each support beam is carefully removed, These beams have played a crucial role in maintaining position and stability. But their task is now complete. The concrete has fully hardened and can stand strong on its own. I also removed the styrofoam, which from the beginning served only as a temporary filler. This space will later be replaced with a fan, providing the circulation of air. To prevent leakage, the interior is lined with plastic sheeting. Each corner is carefully adjusted, then sealed with silicone, ensuring the base is tightly closed and protected from leaks. The hardscape process begins with placing a plywood box, which will serve as the foundation for the artificial rock. It is then secured in place with sealant foam. The artificial rock hardscape is crafted from cement, shaped in a vertical form, to resemble a towering natural cliff. The hose for the water flow is concealed within the structure, allowing it to cascade from above. The cement surface is then coated with green mortar, creating a visual contrast between the concrete wall and the artificial rock. And finally, I add a piece of wood, shaped like a dead tree, becoming the central focal point of this urban wild habitat. On the 8th day, the artificial rock hardscape has fully dried. Today marks the next stage, installing the supporting elements: a rainfall system, misting, filtration, and finally, the planting of vegetation. The hardscape of urban wild habitat now appears truly exotic, with the dead tree as its focal point, the center of attention within. Within this urban wild habitat, I aim to recreate the atmosphere of a rainforest. Artificial rain will fall, and vegetation will be carefully arranged, like a fragment of the jungle itself. The process begins by removing the plastic once used to shape the cavity. This hollow will later serve as a hiding place for the main inhabitant. After that, the misting system is installed, a fine spray that maintains humidity, recreating the atmosphere of a rainforest. Next, holes are made in the acrylic board, creating the medium for artificial rainfall. The acrylic board is placed at the top, supported by L-shaped steel brackets. Each edge is sealed tightly with silicone, preventing any water from escaping along the sides. Next, a fan is installed to regulate air circulation within the habitat. The time has come for planting. I begin by spreading the substrate, a growing medium composed of coco peat, burnt husk, and a touch of soil. Pumice stones are added as a drainage layer, preventing water from stagnating at the base. For vegetation, I've chosen several species of ferns. Beyond their beauty, ferns help maintain microhumidity through transpiration, enhancing the feeling of a true rainforest. Here, I use whipping moss extensively to cover the rocks. This moss helps retain moisture, filter water, and provide a home for microorganisms, while evoking the damp atmosphere of a rainforest. To enhance the natural impression at the top, I hang trailing plants and scatter dry leaf litter at random. An undergravel filter is installed to keep the water clean and healthy for the ecosystem. And in the final step, the glass door is installed as the enclosure. This is urban wild habitat, a living fragment of the rainforest within. The 10th day marks the long-awaited moment. The main inhabitants I've been waiting for have finally arrived. Ordered online, their journey was full of risk, yet thankfully, they made it safely. The seller even included a small gift as a bonus. Before the main inhabitants enter their new home, I first introduce crickets into the habitat. They will play an important role as a natural food source. In ecology, crickets play a vital role. On the forest floor, they feed on dry leaves and organic matter, accelerating decomposition and returning nutrients to the soil. Crickets are also a crucial link in the food chain, preyed upon by birds, frogs, reptiles, and even small mammals. For this reason, researchers regard them as bioindicators. The greater the diversity of cricket species, the healthier the forest ecosystem. The sound of crickets makes this habitat feel more alive, as if we were standing in the heart of the forest. And now, the long-awaited moment has come. 3 green dumpy frogs, 1 male and 2 females, are about to enter the urban wild habitat. The green dumpy frog, Littoria caerulea, originates from the rainforests of Australia, Papua, and Indonesia. I let it enter on its own. Slowly, it begins to explore its new home. Soon after, it leaps and hides within the hollow of the dead tree. When I lift the second frog, it's clear it can't wait to enter. It leaps immediately, as if it knows exactly where to go. Then, it slips into the hollow I had prepared. From its movements, it's evident it feels secure, as though it has found the perfect refuge. The last frog is placed at the top, just behind the dead tree. It appears hungry. The moment a cricket passes nearby, without hesitation, it strikes and devours its prey. A cricket crawls slowly, searching for food, unaware of the danger nearby. From within a hollow, a frog remains still. At first, it does not notice its prey. But soon, awareness grows. Carefully, the frog advances, its sharp gaze locked on the cricket. The tension builds, second by second. Until finally, with a swift leap, the cricket becomes its meal. When the rain falls, the forest's inhabitants seem to rejoice. Drop by drop, it wets the leaves, seeping into the soil, washing over everything it touches. The frogs emerge from their hiding places, letting the rain wash over their bodies. They welcome each falling drop, as if dancing in the blessing that descends from the sky. Within this urban wild habitat lies a truly extraordinary sight. Here is the true paradox: a wild nature recreated in the heart of the urban world, as if our very soul is guided back to feel the warmth and honesty of the untamed. As the rain subsides, the frogs begin to gather closer. The male green dumpy appears smaller, with a head that is more pointed, while the females are noticeably larger, their heads broader in shape. From time to time, the green dumpy is seen climbing walls or glass. This frog is an exceptional climber. At the tips of its toes are natural adhesive pads, scientifically known as epithelial toe pads. These structures allow it to cling firmly, even to smooth surfaces like glass. Sometimes they descend to the bottom of the habitat to soak their bodies or to drink. They can also change the color of their skin, shifting from bright green to dull brown, blending with their surroundings. This transformation is not merely camouflage, but a hunting strategy. Remaining motionless, unseen, then striking swiftly at prey, unaware of their presence. This urban wild habitat is not just a container, it is a miniature ecosystem, a living replica of the rainforest. Humidity is maintained by a misting system, releasing droplets on schedule. Light is adjusted to follow the cycle of day and night, providing energy for plants to photosynthesize. And small fans move the air outward, keeping circulation in balance. Within it, a delicate balance is formed. Ferns absorb and release water through transpiration. Moss stores moisture while maintaining the humidity of the air. And water itself becomes the source of life for the entire ecosystem inside. Through this small space, we can observe and study the wild more closely, without ever having to journey into the forest. Thank you for being part of the beginning of Urban Wild Habitat's journey. Don't forget to hit subscribe and follow the next adventure.